First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Rerun! Bang, 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 bang. Hey. Hey, give me a radar. Right there, 40's mic. Hey, watch the sling.
On the toss, here's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, Monday.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. That's caught by Treadwell. Look at the dance and the juke. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman, down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around. Still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away.
He's got daylight. The 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, 83 yards, and the Lions have taken the lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Waiting! Middle, middle, middle! You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want me.
After the interception, here's Stafford. He's going to wind up and air it out. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Double right! Hey! Out, out! Like 7!
The first down carry here for Johnson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Ready? 180! Watch the screen! 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 Easy, alert!
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate.
And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. Then he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And some room to work. The 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is now 10-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Sponge! Hey.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones at a first down. Cousins on 1st down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards that time for number 19. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Cousins gives way to Cook. Cook with a 1st down and much more. And all the way down to the 5. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Throwing. Cousins eluding the pressure right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And will they call it a touchback? No, it's out at the 1-yard line. They were inches there from blowing a golden scoring opportunity. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 2nd down, Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Third and goal for Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jordan Taylor, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing is Stafford, and he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
22.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Lions now are going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks. Half. On 1st down, it's Stafford. It's complete to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. From the red zone now, Stafford. James has got it. Complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Get ready, get ready.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too? Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Play action now. Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 20-yard line. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run. Cook. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ben Gideon showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
It's caught by Treadwell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
Here we go.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And a pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before. Real. It hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's third down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey, Haywood. Ready?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. First down, here's Cousins. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Go hard. 180. Lucky 48. First. Go hard.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will extend this big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
How many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he's got some space here. A big run there by Johnson. 46 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Now fails. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
They start the drive with Cook. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Amendola set to return it. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now.